It's Friday, November 26, and time for your Barbados Today News Update. New statistics reveal that more than half of this country's gun-related killings over the last 3 years remain unresolved. That's according to senior statistician with the Criminal Justice and Research Planning Unit, Tamisha Howell, who presented the findings of a study during a webinar entitled An Examination of Gun-Related Homicides in Barbados from 2018 to 2020 on Thursday. Over the last 3 years, guns remained the weapon of choice, accounting for 64% of all recorded homicides, and it appears this rise in gun-related crimes is making it more difficult for police to close murder cases.
Only 45% of gun-related homicides were solved. More than half of knife-related homicides were solved, while other weapons, such as which include chop stuck with a piece of wood and knife/choke/burns, as well as beatings and blow to the head, were all solved. Gun-related homicides are less likely to be solved when compared to other weapons or methods used. In other words, a weapon can affect currency rate as gun-related homicides. So therefore, as gun-related homicides increases, then its currency rate as well as the overall homicide currency rate for a country will experience a decline. This 45% currency rate reaffirms that the use of guns can make it difficult carrying out those homicides due to the little personal contact required by this type of weapon, which leaves little to no evidence compared to beatings or stabbing that requires close contact.
Gender-based violence remains one of the biggest hindrances to sustainable development. So says head of the UN Women Multi-Country Office for the Caribbean at the start of 16 days of activism against gender-based violence launched last evening. She called for more action to stamp out the scourge.
It costs $1.5 trillion globally, or 2% of the global GDP. The government of New Zealand found that family violence in particular costs them $368 million per year due to lost productivity, stress, and staff turnover. Yet behind every number, police reports, or news article is a person whose rights and autonomy has been violently and forcefully taken away from them. Preventing gender-based violence and violence against women and girls starts with unpacking and combating the harmful cultural and social gender norms that perpetrate the notion of men's superiority over women and women's inferiority. I think the traffic agrees with me.
Labour and Social Relations Minister Colin Jordan urged men to actively push back against gender-based violence and discrimination as he addressed the event.
Men must become involved in the process of eliminating violence against women and girls. Men's voices need to be heard in objection to violence against women and girls, not because women are unable to articulate the evil and the need for it to be stopped. No. But men's voices need to be heard because, unfortunately, we still live in a society where prejudice exists and where some men and boys will listen only to other men and boys, where boys need positive role models who stand for what is right.
Minister Jordan added that government is clear on the importance of the role of men in the home, and as such, it has made headway on approving paternity leave for fathers.
Cabinet has approved a paternity leave policy that aims to give fathers time off to be part of the provision of care to their young children. An actuarial study is to be carried out so that the contributors and the National Insurance Department are comfortable with the Social Security system's ability to make payment to men who are on paternity leave. And that actuarial study should begin shortly.
The island's oldest distillery, Montgay, has been holding its own despite the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Managing Director Rafael Grazzoni says the company in fact increased its exports and he's promising to make substantial investments here in the coming years. He was speaking Thursday at the launch of the Republic Blend, a special limited edition rum in celebration of Barbados becoming a republic.
This is supported by the global high-end rum trend, which is growing double-digit for the last 5 years. COVID didn't stop this trend as our export commercial performance grew by 9%. We are part of a resilient industry. With this trend in mind, Montgay Distillery is maintaining its high investment to supply the future demand. Montgay Distillery has invested in the last 3 years more than 30 million Barbados dollars. These, of course, are audited figures, and will invest 60 million on the next 4 years to increase its capacity of supplying fully Barbados aged rum and ramp up its CSR investments.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Hi, my name is Christian Paul. I'm the country manager of BCIC here in Barbados. When the COVID vaccine first came out, I thought it was an interesting and a potentially successful way for us to navigate our way out of the pandemic and a return to some state of normalcy. I took the vaccine because I have a young family. I want to make sure that they are safe and protected. I have friends, extended family, and obviously I work here with colleagues, so I thought it was a good way to help protect them and to keep them safe, as well as myself. I would encourage others to take the vaccine because I know that you can still transmit the disease even if you're vaccinated, but the chances of being severely ill or worse, dying, are significantly reduced.
Let's roll up our sleeves and get back to living.
To regional news, in Trinidad and Tobago, 4 children have died from COVID-19 and 11 babies are infected, prompting a plea from health officials for citizens to get vaccinated and adhere to the protocols. We get the details from TV6 News.
It was just Saturday that the Ministry of Health reported TNT's first child death due to COVID-19. 4 days later, the health minister delivers more heartbreaking news.
We have had 4 deaths of children, that is persons under 18. But I am hoping that this statistic which I'm given this morning, that is 14 children under 1 year old have been in our parallel healthcare system over the past 3 months. And 11 are babes in arms, still breastfeeding, under 3 months old.
The minister did not share details as to the current health status of the children or whether the 4 casualties were children with comorbidities, but he noted one common trend. In most instances, adults are bringing the virus home to the vulnerable children.
They are not going here, they are not going there. The virus is basically coming home and meeting them and sending them into the hospital. On examination, 50% of the parents are in fact COVID positive, and we don't have the hard number yet, but the vast majority is what we have been explaining to the country, unvaccinated.
The ministry reports that at this time, TNT has roughly 45% herd immunity, still a long ways off from the ideal 90%. And with the Delta variant well established in the community, the minister is warning of more casualties among demographics, which were initially seen as resilient.
More people are dying. The issue is that we have been advising the country since August of this year that the Delta variant is coming and will lead to more deaths if we don't practice the 3 Ws and get vaccinated. We have been urging, appealing, begging, imploring of people to get vaccinated.
On the international scene, scientists in South Africa said Thursday they had detected a new COVID-19 variant with multiple mutations.
22 cases of the new variant have been detected in South Africa's most densely populated province of Gauteng, and it's been detected in other provinces too, while new cases are still being confirmed. Hospitalizations in the country have increased, but it's uncertain whether the new variant causes milder or more severe disease. 3 cases have been detected in the neighboring country of Botswana and 1 in Hong Kong in someone who has traveled to South Africa. Most cases of the new variants are young people under 25, the least vaccinated age category. Only 35% of South Africa's total population have been fully vaccinated, and vaccination rates are dropping, although there's no shortage of vaccines. South African health authorities have said that they're still uncertain what the full significance of the new variant is. But in the meantime, the government here is considering a tightening of COVID-19 lockdown restrictions ahead of the festive season. The National Coronavirus Command Council and the Cabinet are meeting over the weekend to discuss this possibility.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.